as a woman, if you're talking about a man, it's like, you want to be proud of your man. You don't want to be talking about your man like, oh, but he doesn't have this, but he doesn't do that, but this is what I don't like. And but if it's a whole bunch of buts, that's how you know. The quickest way to know that you are dating based on potential, okay? You see what someone could be instead of who they actually are right now. And yes, people are always going to change. Yes, growth can come in, but hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Vibes 365 podcast, where we have productive and stimulating conversations on how to be more mindful in all the areas of your life. I'm your host, Malaysia, and today we're going to be chatting about something that I absolutely, without a doubt, know that plenty of men and women can relate to right now, and that is dating, okay? And to be more specific, why dating is so hard to do right now, why it's just so difficult, why is it so draining, and of course we're going to chat about how to make it easier. I'm never going to have an episode where I'm not giving you tips on how to make your life better and easier, okay? So let's get into it. Now, do y'all ever feel like you have gotten everything else together in your life? Like you are straight across all areas in terms of finances, you budgeting well, you managing your money, you working out, you eating right, you are knocking off your goals and achieving things on your list. Everything just seems like it's coming together. But when it comes to dating, it's like you keep hitting a brick wall. The same patterns, the same people, the same disappointment, just different faces, right? Just different people with the same situations, the same scenarios keep coming up person to person. And honestly, I have felt like this a lot in my 20s, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Just having different situations as a 25-year-old woman, obviously, like the dating streets are cooked. I will say that. Honestly, dating doesn't have to be complicated. Like, I know that it is hard, it is complicated, but that doesn't mean it has to be complicated. But for a lot of us, it feels that way for a specific reason. And if we're just being real, y'all, like dating in this generation comes with its own set of challenges. I always tell my mom this, like, girl, back when you was dating back in the times, okay, when folks had to catch you out in the street, that's different. Now we got social media, and within the tap of a button, you go on these different apps and you're seeing all these different people and all these different women, all these different men. You're seeing people naked. You're seeing people. It's just too much, okay? Between social media, unrealistic expectations, emotional unavailability, and lack of boundaries, of course, your dating life can get very messy, very sticky, very tricky, very, very quick, okay? But honestly, y'all, a lot of the reasons dating feels so hard are not external necessarily. They're mostly internal, okay? And it's not always about the dating pool. Sometimes it really is about our approach, okay? So let's break down a few reasons why dating might be difficult for you. Now, I do want to say that, granted, you can never control how other people are going to be. You can't control what other people are going to do. You can't control how other people are going to act towards you. But a lot of problems and things that we might deal with in dating, which is just something that I have concluded, is if I would have done this, then this wouldn't have happened. If I wouldn't have allowed this, then this wouldn't have happened. Like a lot of the things that we go through and experience in dating, sometimes that happens because, we're approaching the situation the wrong way. We're looking at things through a rose-colored lens. We're not thinking clearly. We're not acting on our own thoughts and our own feelings, right? So a lot of these things are internal, and there's just a few top key things that I can honestly say, like, this is why dating might just feel extremely difficult for you right now. All right. So getting into number one, you do not have clear boundaries. Okay. You let too much slide. And this goes for men and women. Like I said, this is an episode for men and women. I'm calling everybody out. Everybody and anybody. This is for anybody who it applies to. You let too much slide. You keep giving people a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance, right? Just chances that you just handing chances out, hoping that a person will change, right? And when you don't stand firm on your boundaries that you have set, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people whether they can walk over you like you're a little doormat, or whether you are very serious about yourself and how you expect to be treated. If you don't set boundaries and you don't stick to them and you don't have clear boundaries, you can just absolutely expect a person to treat you any type of way. You have to have boundaries. And it's like you teach them that they can honestly get away with anything. A person who stands for nothing will fall for anything. And that is just a regular life quote in general, but you can apply it to dating. Like, you don't have clear boundaries, so a person is definitely going to walk all over you. They're going to do what they feel like they can do because you haven't set any clear boundaries, and you haven't said like, hey, we're not doing that over here. You might do that over there with them, with him, her. You're not going to do that with me. All right. So that's the main reason why you feel like dating is so hard. Not because of other people, but take a look at yourself. You don't have clear boundaries that you make people follow and abide by. Number two, you're basing your happiness around dating. Y'all, you cannot live your life thinking that dating is supposed to be the end all be all. You only feel complete when somebody else is around. And that energy makes dating feel so much heavier and so much more complicated because now you're wrapping your life up in this person. And I talked about this in one of my previous episodes, but it's like your life cannot revolve around dating. Your life cannot revolve around wanting somebody so bad to the point where when you don't have anybody, you're super duper lonely. You can't live your life like that. Like, you have to come to understand that when you are grounded and content on your own with your own life, dating becomes a bonus, not a lifeline, right? Like, a lot of the times when women say like, I don't need you, like, it's because they've gotten to a point where they're like, I'm happy. I want love, of course, but I'm not going to base my life around it. And this is why I'm a fan that everybody needs to have hobbies, even men. Okay, women are just obviously like more clingy and emotional, so we really need to have hobbies and stuff to keep us busy. But like men, you need to be hanging out with your friends, go play basketball, go play the game, go have some hobbies. You don't need to base your life around women, because honestly, when women base their life around men, consequences. When men base their life around women and you feel like you have to fill your time with women, fill your time with going out with different women, fill your time with sleeping with different women, that brings its own set of consequences. More and more and more consequences are coming your way. Trust me. So it's like you have to understand that you cannot base your life around dating. Okay? This is the second reason as to why dating might feel a little difficult for you right now. So ask yourself, as I'm going through these reasons, like, dang, do I do that? You might, friend. You just might. Number three, the third reason why dating might feel so difficult for you right now is because you're simply just unclear about what you want. You say you want a healthy relationship, but you're entertaining people who don't even check your most basic boxes. How does that make sense? I don't think it does, right? When you say it out loud, it doesn't make sense. So it's like, this is where the confusion comes in. This is where the difficulty comes in, because you can like somebody all you want. You can enjoy spending time with them. You can enjoy going out with them, doing different things. But ultimately, in your head, if you have already established a clear list of wants and things that you want in a partner, things that you want from a future husband, things that you want in terms of a family and the vision that you have for your life, if this person does not check off those boxes, it's like, okay, well then it wouldn't make sense to continue to deal with them. But see, you're having this problem because you're not even clear about what you want. So you don't have any expectations. You don't have any boundaries. You don't have any guidelines. You don't have anything. You're just winging it, which is why your dating experiences keep going the way they're going, which is why you keep allowing the things that you're allowing, which is why you keep dealing with the people that you're dealing with, because you're just out here loose. It ain't nothing to follow. There's no guide, right? You're just unclear about what you want. So I'm here to tell you that that's absolutely not going to work, but we're going to get to the solutions later. Don't worry. Moving into the fourth reason why dating might feel so difficult for you right now is because you have not dealt with your internal issues. Okay? Like I said, we cannot control what other people do to us. We cannot control how other people treat us. We cannot control other people's actions. However, if you got some abandonment wounds or some insecurities and past heartbreaks that you haven't fully unpacked and decided to sit down and really truly face, you're going to keep repeating these emotional cycles, and it's going to interfere with your dating, right? You might could have a good healthy partner or a good healthy person in your face, but because you have insecurities, because you have abandonment issues, because you are still trying to navigate heartbreak and you're trying to get over your heartbreak, or you haven't finally gotten to the bottom of why you still feel this way, right? You're just going to keep having the same internal problems. So a lot of different arguments and a lot of different feelings and emotions and different things that you want to react to are all going to be coming from within. This person might not even be doing nothing to you. It really might be you, okay? Sometimes it really is you. I know that we all like to say, like, no, it's the other person. No, sometimes it really is you. Even though, like, for me, it really don't be me. It always be the other person. But no, seriously, y'all. Healing is what allows you to choose better, to do better, right? It's a you thing, yes, of course, but when you heal, you learn what you're not going to accept, what you're not going to tolerate, right? The healed version of you wouldn't mess with a man like that. The healed version of you would go after men like this. The healed version of you wouldn't mess with women like that. The healed version of you would actually go after women like this, okay? So when you're healed and you've cleared up those issues and those wounds and that emotional trauma, it'll help you to make better decisions overall. Period. So moving into number 5. Oh, this is such a big one. I swear this is really one of the main reasons why a lot of y'all are feeling like dating is so difficult right now. It's just so hard, you don't understand. The dating pool has pee in it, right? I know. But your problem is, number 5, you are dating based on potential. I'm sorry. I'm too old to do that. I'm 25. I'm not dating on potential. There are certain things that you need to have in order. There are certain things that you need to have made up in your mind for me to take you serious. And that's just, it is what it is. You start off like, yeah, this is what I expect, blah, blah, blah. I want this, that, and the third. And then you start liking a person. And then you're like, well, I could probably tolerate this. I could probably tolerate that. And this girl, she's not everything I want, but I mean, she cool. She all right. I would hate for a man to describe me like that. Like, I would actually hate for a man to be talking about me as his partner in that way. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, she's cool. She's a cool girl. What? Are you crazy? Like, no. Okay. As a woman, if you're talking about a man, it's like, you want to be proud of your man. You don't want to be talking about your man like, oh, but he doesn't have this, but he doesn't do that, but this is what I don't like. And but if it's a whole bunch of buts, that's how you know. The quickest way to know that you are dating based on potential, okay? You see what someone could be instead of who they actually are right now. And yes, people are always going to change. Yes, growth can come in, but y'all, it's some things in the beginning where you really just have to be like, nah, this is not it, okay? This is not it. The longer you date based on potential and what somebody could be and this little fantasy that you creating in your head, this is just going to keep you stuck a lot longer than you have to be, because you're focusing more on potential, what this person could be. A person got to already have set foundational principles and morals and the way that they move already, okay? You shouldn't have to be trying to instill them to be this way and try to convince them and force them to be considerate. And I'm just going to teach them how to, and I'm going to show her. Nah, some things is like, oh, you don't got it. You don't got it. Not my cup of tea. Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into the conversation. This episode is actually sponsored by my brand, Mindful Vibes 365. If you or anyone you know are currently experiencing feelings of frustration, anxiety, depression, overstimulation, mental burnout, and just overall disconnection from God, I can guarantee you that it's time for you to reprogram your mind and vibe. And the quickest, most easiest way for you to do this is actually by fasting and detoxing from secular music. Now, as someone that did this for an entire year, I can honestly say it changed my life completely. I underwent a transformation in all areas of my life once I cut out secular music. Now, do you have to do this for an entire year? No, the transformation started weeks into my year-long fast, which is exactly why 90 days is the sweet spot. So, luckily for you guys, I created a 90-day guided workbook that's actually going to help help you successfully overcome your anxiety, depression, overstimulation, mental burnout, and disconnection from God, because it's going to require you to complete a series of activities that are going to stimulate your mind and vibe every single day. This workbook is not only going to allow you to journal what's on your mind and what's your vibe for the next 90 days, it's going to help you stay on track with consuming the required productive and stimulating things that you're going to be listening to every single day. You're going to have access to recommended hand-picked sermons, audiobooks, podcasts, personal development teachings, Bible readings, gospel songs, and so much more, which are all the things that you're going to be required to listen to for the next 90 days, every single day around the clock. I can honestly go ahead and congratulate you in advance on the new person you're getting ready to become once completing this workbook, because replacing secular music with more spiritual, stimulating, productive, motivating, and uplifting tunes is going to completely change your life. So make sure you go ahead and click the link below to get a copy of your 90-day guided workbook today. I cannot wait to hear more about your transformation and the new person that you become once you complete this 90-day workbook. So congratulations again in advance. Make sure you get a copy of yours today. Click the link below. Now let's get back to the conversation. And moving into number 6, which kind of goes with number 1 in terms of you not having clear boundaries. You lack consistency in your own standards. Like, you have standards one minute, the next minute you don't have standards, right? You have boundaries one minute, the next minute you don't have boundaries. The next minute you let stuff slide. In this instance, in this moment, you let stuff slide. In this moment, you're like, oh, I don't care about that. I'm not going to trip on that. No, it need to be black and white, okay? Like, you start off so strong, but the more you start liking a person and the more you start feeling a person and feelings get involved and, oh, my man, you know, and, you know, that's my girl, that's my lady, blah, blah, blah. Boundaries are only as strong as your ability to keep them in place, even when it's uncomfortable. No matter how much a conversation is going to be tough or uncomfortable to have, or you feel like it's going to cause maybe a little debate, a little friction between y'all two, doesn't matter. You need to learn how to stand up for yourself, stand on business, and put your foot down, right? You can't be inconsistent with your standards. You can't be this way one minute and then this way you're being like this. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, I'm never going to have an episode where I don't give you guys practical tips that you can start applying today, tonight, right now, after you watch this episode. Why put off till tomorrow what you can do today? And I'm going to give you some solid tips, y'all, because guys, this can be an easier experience for you. Your dating experience can just become a more smooth experience. Am I saying that as soon as you correct all these things that your husband or your wife is going to appear in front of your face and be ready to get married tomorrow? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is once you change your mindset and experience some of these shifts and make some little small changes here and there, these things are going to help you not only have a more pleasant dating experience, but it's going to help you to cut ties a lot quicker, cut your losses a lot quicker, eliminate stress in your life, eliminate you even having days where you in your feelings and you feeling this way because this person did this, and you know, you had an argument with your girl, now you having a bad day. You know, your old lady, you had an argument with your old lady, now you having a bad day. You and your man just got into it, or this man did X, Y, and Z to you, and you're so mad about it because maybe your imaginary standards that you had were broken. Maybe your imaginary boundaries that you had were crossed, right? That's why this stuff got to be in black and white. So boom, here we go. Getting into the tips and tricks that are going to help you have a better, more smoother, more easier, more loving, more romantic dating experience, okay? Number 1, which is so important, you're going to get crystal clear about what you want. I say this in a lot of my episodes when I'm talking about different topics, and I honestly realize, like, being clear about what you want and making a decision and deciding on something, honestly, is really the key to life. Because when you don't know, you're a drifter. And when you're a drifter, you kind of just go for anything. You kind of take whatever is put in front of your face. When you make a decision and you get crystal clear about what you want, write it down. Know your non-negotiables. When you're clear, you're going to stop wasting time on confusion. When you know this is what I want out of a husband, this is what I want out of a partner, this is what I want out of a wife, right? when you're crystal clear, when somebody is not acting according to what you want, guess what? Get rid of them. Bye. No hard feelings, but you're not matching up with the program, my boy. Sorry, baby. You're a wonderful young lady, but you're not fitting into my program. Right? You need to be clear about what you want. If you want a partner that prioritizes physical fitness and their health and their diet and the things that they do to their body, the things that they put into their body. If you don't want a person that drinks, that smokes, be clear about that and don't waver on it. Like, if that's what it is, that's what it is. If you want a man that works out, a man that works in this type of industry, a man that, doesn't engage in certain type of activities, that's what it is. Okay? And if they don't like it, they don't like it. Too bad. Number 2, you need to communicate your boundaries early on. Honestly, the problem with the dating world is that nothing is communicated, let alone nothing is communicated early on. Things start to get communicated and come out when problems arise. That's the problem. Start communicating early on. You don't have to try to play it cool. One thing about me, I am not P. I will say that. I'm not P at all. Malaysia is not P. Lay is not P. I am starting to really realize more and more these days that actually I'm not P. I like things to be a certain way. I like people to treat me a certain way. I like people to maneuver a certain way when it comes to me being in a picture, period. That's just what it is. And I don't have to play cool about it. I don't have to act like, oh, I'm not bothered by this, or I don't necessarily like that. Like, nah, I'm going to say it, let you know how I feel about it. And either you're going to make the necessary adjustments or it's not going to work. And that's cool. Like I said, you don't have to play it cool. You don't have to shrink yourself. You don't have to bite your tongue and hold back just to keep somebody interested. Why would you do that? Why would you want to have an artificial relationship where you're not even being yourself? You're not able to speak up. Don't suppress yourself. Speak up. Open your mouth. Clarity will protect your peace. Even though you might get answers that you don't want sometimes, you might hear some things that you don't want sometimes, you might find out some things that you don't want to find out. That's all right. Communicate your boundaries early. And that's how you'll know how to go from there. Get it all out on the table early. Okay, to figure out how you need to be moving, how you need to be thinking, and how you need to be treating this person during this dating experience. All right. Number 3, I want you to detach from outcomes. Okay. A lot of us go into dating attached to the outcome of what we want. Recipe for disaster. Okay. Detach from outcomes. Stop viewing rejection as failure. Stop viewing if this interaction with this person didn't work out is failure. That something is wrong with you, right? If something don't work out, that's redirection. Move on gracefully. Detach from outcomes. Don't think just because, oh, you got your heart broken that you have to be oh so attached to this heartbreak. Or don't think just because you and this person stopped talking that you have to be so attached to that. Move on. Get over that. Okay? You can't be so attached to something that you allow it to keep you stuck somewhere. Right? Stuck in an emotional state, stuck in a very just overwhelmed state, stuck in a heartbroken state. Like, nah, detach from that. That is your superpower. Okay, that's gonna come in handy. It's very, very unfortunate to be attached to, something or someone that you should not be attached to no more. Like, you have to learn the art of detachment. Okay. Number 4, I want you to work on your self-awareness. Everything is not going to always be someone else's fault. Okay. Sometimes you gotta learn how to check yourself. Am I tripping? Is it me? Maybe I'm thinking about this in the wrong way. Maybe I need to check myself. Okay. Notice your pattern. Ask yourself, why am I drawn to this type of person? Okay, self-awareness. Self-awareness is key. This is how you're going to correct your behavior. Self-awareness. Why am I drawn to this type of person? Why do I keep attracting this type of person? What is it about me that keeps attracting this type of man? What is it about me that keeps attracting this type of woman? What is it about me that keeps getting men who are, still in their phase of doing X, Y, and Z? What is it about me as a man that still keeps attracting women who just wants to spend my money and, leech off of me? What is it? It might be how you positioning yourself. It might be the talk that you're talking, the things that you're doing. I don't know what it is, but you need to be real with yourself and notice your own patterns. Okay? Clock your own T. What am I doing? maybe I'm doing something wrong. That's what you need to start asking yourself sometimes, because a lot of times when you keep finding yourself in situations that are the same repeatedly, or you keep feeling like, dang, I keep dealing with the same as that person over and over and over, that is not a them problem. That's actually a you problem that you need to correct sooner rather than later if you don't want to keep going through the same thing over and over again. All right? Awareness is how you stop attracting chaos. Okay, guys? Number 5, I want you to keep your life full. Yeah, I want you to start having hobbies and start hanging out with your friends and start hanging out with your parents and your family members and start going on solo dates and doing things by yourself and actually being happy about it. I don't want you to just be sitting up in the house like, oh my gosh, I wish I had somebody. I'm so lonely. I'm so bored. Get out in the streets. Come on, what you doing? Get out, get active. Don't let dating be your only source of excitement. You know how many things there are to do these days? Like, guys, if you don't know what to do, just go to TikTok. Things to do in my city. Boom. Easy. Simple. Have your own hobbies. Have your own routines. Have your own goals. Have your own individual things that you can look forward to. So with or without somebody, you're going to have some motion going on. When your life is full to the point where you're working on certain things, you engage in certain things, you have different activities that you're doing, you at the gym, you going out spending time with friends, you spending time with family, you cooking new recipes, you watching new shows, you reading new books, okay, you learning new stuff. All of that is going to be filling your time. So when it comes to spending time with somebody else or dating and getting to know somebody, they got to fit into that. And honestly, they should be fitting into it in the most productive manner possible. That's why when it comes to dating, this person should be adding on to your life, not somebody that you just kicking it with and having a good old grand fun time and it's not doing anything for you in a productive manner, because that's when it starts to take over your life. All right. But when your life is full, you attract from overflow. People see that. People see like, wow, she's a woman that does X, Y, and Z. Like, how can I come be a part of her program? And wow, I see this man has a strict gym schedule and eating schedule, and he does this, he does that. Like, okay, well, I'm going to have to step my stuff up if I'm going to date him. Okay, I'm gonna have to get moving. I'm gonna have to start going to the gym and stuff. That stuff you can work on yourself. And moving into number 6, the final one, I want you guys to stay grounded in reality, not potential, not fantasy, not the little dreams that you make up in your head. I want you to start believing what people show you. If a person is being inconsistent with you, they're being inconsistent with you. They're not being inconsistent because, oh, well, maybe they're going through this and maybe they're dealing with that and maybe. No, they're being inconsistent. They being inconsistent. They're being mean to you all of a sudden. They're being mean to you all of a sudden. It ain't no buts. It ain't no, well, I'm trying to figure out what this means. I'm trying to figure out. One thing I have learned is that when people want to be in your life, it's not going to be confusing. So that should tell you everything that you need to know. All right. Actions reveal everything. I don't give a damn what a person says. It's about what they do. You can have the right intentions. You can say the right words, say all the right little things. But ultimately, whatever you decide to do is what matters. So I don't care about none of that other little chit chat and all that other stuff. Actions matter. That's what you need to focus on. Okay. Stay grounded in reality, not potential. What you dreamed about last night and the fantasies that you're having in your head midday while you're at work. This person could be my husband and we could start a family, and stop taking it that far. Okay. And most importantly, like, just remember that you are the main character. This is your show. You direct the scenes, the storylines, who gets screen time, all that. And if somebody energy starts messing up the movie, then you cut the scene and cut their ass if that's what you need to do. It's just that simple, y'all. Like, the movie is still gonna go on. Okay, you will still always be the star, and that's what you got to understand. Like, you are the star in your show. This is your life. So don't allow a person to feel like they're coming in taking over and being the star of the show. No, that's not how this works. So guys, in conclusion, if dating has been feeling hard for you lately, like, first of all, take a step back and ask yourself, is it the people I'm choosing or is it the patterns I'm keeping alive? Okay. Once you shift your mindset, set real boundaries, and stop overcomplicating stuff, dating becomes way less stressful and far more enjoyable. Like, this is in addition to our lives in the first place. So it really just should not be this hard and this complicated and this draining. Is it annoying? Absolutely, without a doubt. I am not denying that. But should it just be this super complicated thing? No. So if you stayed with me to the very end of this episode, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you resonated with something in this episode. Share it, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments. Let's really talk about it, because we are all in these dating trenches out here, and I know it can get tough and complicated, and you might just have some experiences that you want to talk about, but we are growing every single day. I'm super excited about continuing to build my tribe and just the direction of this show. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Bye.